And then
SMU was giving out money like candy.
it was crazy. This doesn't even compare to what SMU was doing.
Yeah,
that's how
I look at it as a full-out assault, really, because we were the team of the 80s. We were winning so much, and it had to be a dark cloud to why we were winning.
What did they say? The Canes program's dead? Is that what they said?
No, they didn't say
no.
They
Basically,
said
why
they
they should
should
give it up.
They should.
I was going to say they were about 7 years too early with that statement.
Yeah. But it's funny because it kind of fell apart after that. when you got after Larry Coker, it did fall apart.
Hey, well, listen,
it was rolling.
First of all, I give nothing but the utmost respect to Butch Davis for saving the program.
Yeah.
Because they took 40,
totally did.
They took 41 of our scholarships. They took so many scholarships at one particular time we didn't have enough players to scrimmage against each other. That's how bad it was.
Yeah.
And I would come back and train and look at them like I was come back in the midst of all this stuff that was going on. And then Erickson, of course, he jumped ship when the boat started sinking. He went to Seattle and Bush took over. Mm-hmm. And Bush, he was innovative. I mean, he didn't have a lot of scholarships, so he had to go after guys and bring them on track scholarships, so it wouldn't infringe upon his ability to recruit kids. And what he did with that program from 97 to 2000, when he was the head coach there, I mean, he literally put Miami back. Yeah, absolutely put Miami back on the map.
Yeah.
He saved the program is what he did.
Absolutely, he did. He saved the program.
It took that type of guy that said, you know what, this isn't going to be like a quick fix, but we're going to get a plan together. We're gonna make sure that we do it the proper way. And they used track scholarships and a handful of other things to get it back, which was genius on his part.
By the way, both he and Schnellenberger, Schnellenberger to the day he died, and now Bush, every time you ask him, worst decision they made leaving Miami.
Yeah. And who knows?
Bush has said that many times. He said it on our show, I believe.
Yeah, maybe.
And Schnellenberger to the day he died said it.
Yeah.
Worst thing he ever did was leave Miami.
And who knows what they could have been on a regular basis, attendance-wise, who knows? Because we're talking about Schnellenberger in the 80s.
Let me just say this. In 2000, 2001, 2002, if Bush was close, we don't lose Ohio State.
No, it's very, very true.
It won 3 straight.
Not only that, I mean, the reality is you probably should have been playing in the national championship game in 2000.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
You easily could have made an argument for Miami playing that game because you beat Florida State.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you lost to Washington, which was obviously a problem, but you beat the team that was in there playing Oklahoma.
Yeah, that's when they had the
BCS.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, BS. Hit it, JJ.
That just happened. Brought to you by Florida Home AC, the official air conditioning partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
We have history at Oakmont.
Ooh.
For only the 4th time in U.S. Open history, we have an albatross.
Oh,
wow.
Patrick
No way.
Reed hit a 2 on a 5.
Whoa.
He didn't even see it go in. He had to be told by the crowd. It was insane. So, it'll be on Twitter, I'm sure, if you're driving. Pull over, folks.
Yeah, give me the yardage once you get it.
Yeah.
Because a 2 on a par 5.
266 yards.
Whoa. Okay. Ain't easy. Okay. An albatross is better than an eagle. It's a bigger bird. And
It's
it's
better
hard.
than a hole-in-one.
Yeah, harder.
You kind of shot down Patrick Reed yesterday, by the way, when I brought him up.
Yeah.
You did a little bit.
Well, it's early days.
Yeah, we'll see where he goes. But I'm just saying, all I said was...
He's a great player.
He's 2 under right now.
Yeah, I didn't even...
So that 3 under their albatross kind of helped him.
Right, yeah. I don't even think I panned him. I just basically said he wasn't top 10. That was your question. And I just said, no, he's not top 10.
JJ, what club did he use? 1 wood, 3 wood?
I'm not sure.
Had to be a 3 metal.
3 metal.
For him to go 266, these guys can hit irons 250 yards.
Right, you're not stopping a 3-wood on that.
Do you know
right?
one of the par 3s here at Oakmont? This is why Katrick said they were going to bleed. And you may have to look up the scorecard, JJ, make sure I'm correct. But I believe it's a par 3, 286 yards.
God.
Okay? We play par 4s that probably neighbor around 300 yards. That's a par 3, 286 yards. So some of these guys can hit maybe even a 1 iron or 2 iron, 260 like it's nothing. And so it probably wasn't even a 3-wood because they can hit a 3-wood 300 yards like it's nothing. Wow. And so it's just, it's crazy the length that they have in their game right now. And the two things that...
It's the 8th hole, by the way.
8th hole?
Yeah, it's typically listed at 289. The longest par 3 in major championship history.
That's unreal, man. It is. And if there is going to be any wind or if it does rain, like we were talking about weather coming in and being a factor, just think about that, trying to muscle a shot. 289, 286 yards, wherever they decide to put the pin in the tee. It's just crazy. But a double eagle, that's rare.
We had
4 holes in too, Patrick Reed.
Louis Oosthuizen, remember? Was that at
He
the
had double.
Masters?
Yeah, at Augusta. Yep. And I believe that might have been the second hole, might have been the
He went on to win, I believe.
he didn't win there.
Okay, so he won the British.
Yeah, he finished second there maybe, but he didn't win there. He had a great opportunity, but he did not win. But what a great shot he made, that's for sure. And remember, I believe he was the one who had the ace and knocked another ball out of the way at 16 with an ace, something like that, going back a few years with Vern Lundquist on the call.
Yeah, he finished second.
Second, yeah. Okay. All right,
Sam Burns, 300 through 5.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Well, that's early. Now, I watched, I think it was Oberg.
And Rory.
Yeah, 200 through 2, and Rory got
Rory was 200 through 3,
Yeah.
and look what happened to him. At
4
least,
over.
at least Oberg finished around, I think he shot 72.
Yeah.
Which is not bad.
No.
It's not. But Rory, I think, was 74, 75, something like that.
Yeah, I believe he was
had
4
a
over.
terrible back nine.
You had Adam Scott. You chose Adam Scott,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Nice. You had a nice round.
Yeah.
Okay, so he's at least hanging in there.
It's even.
And then I went, I put a couple of other guys in the big pool, and so we'll see where it goes. But anyway, we'll get to it. Leaderboard update coming. That Miami discussion is still worth continuing into the 3 o'clock hour because it brings us back to Miami v. Notre Dame. Jack Kaiser, one of the Fighting Irish linebackers that played in that national championship game. He is now one of your Jacksonville Jaguars. We'll say hello to him coming up in the 3 o'clock hour.
This U.S. Open update on 1010XL is brought to you by TopDressing.com.
Westwood One Sports presents this special report on the 125th U.S. Open Golf Championship. Since 1916, a first-round leader at the U.S. Open has gone on to win only 16 times. The last was 11 years ago, Martin Keimer at Pinehurst. That's the history that J.J. Spawn faces as he holds the first-round clubhouse lead at Oakmont with a 4-under 66. The L.A. native talked about his round.
I just tried to kind of take what the course gave me. I hit a lot of good shots and try to capitalize on any birdie opportunities, which, aren't very many out here. But I scrambled really well, too, which is a huge component to playing well at a U.S. Open.
Tristan Lawrence of South Africa shot 3-under 67. Siwoo Kim 2-under 68 in the morning and 2 back of Spawn. With this report on the U.S. Open, I'm Whit Watson, Westwood One Sports.
At Fisher Investments, we may seem like other money managers, but we're different.
What makes you so different than the rest of us?
We ensure clients receive unparalleled service at every step of the relationship.
Tell me more.
Our investment counselors focus on service over sales, prioritizing clients' needs.
How do you make money?
We don't sell any commission-based products. We have a simple management fee based on the value of our client's portfolio. So we do better when our clients do better.
What about client portfolios?
We get to know each client, their finances, family, health, lifestyle, and more, and then we tailor a portfolio based on their specific goals and needs.
Your clients really come first then, huh?
Yes, we make them a top priority. Our goal is helping them achieve a comfortable retirement.
Wow, maybe we are different.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at FisherInvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
Yo, E.T. here, and I need you to beat the heat this summer with cool escapes and non-stop fun in Clay County. Tackle indoor adventures head on. Throw axes at Live by Axe or smash your stress away at Just Smash That. Then kick back with drinks, good food, and fandom vibes at Nakama Anime Bar or Leaderboard Arcade and Bar. Whether you're blowing off steam or just looking to chill, Clay County got your perfect indoor getaway. Find your cool at exploreclay.com. That's exploreclay.com.
Jimerson Burr is a full-service, Florida-based commercial law firm dedicated to helping businesses manage risk, maximize opportunities, and move their company forward. Jimerson Burr attorneys are business-oriented lawyers, equally comfortable as community leaders, private transaction counselors, or courtroom advocates. If you have a legal issue of any kind affecting your business, contact the firm at 389-0050 or jimersonfirm.com.
Daly's Dash is not only your Jaguars game day stop, but a great place to grab a meal any day of the week. To honor the Jags and the fans, we've crafted the Duval Sub. The Duval comes with freshly sliced turkey, ham, melted cheddar, and habanero jack cheese, topped with crisp lettuce, fresh tomatoes, and a double portion of our secret sauce, all served on a fresh roll. Come by your local's Dailies Dash today to get your delicious Duval Sub. Dailies is the official convenience store sponsor of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
It's tune-up time, and Florida Home AC, the official AC partner of the Jaguars, wants to partner with you for a cool summer season. Tune up your AC unit right now so it's running at peak performance when you need it most. Just call 777-4300 and order a tune-up for just $59. Keep your unit humming at optimal level. Log on to FloridaHomeAC.com and take advantage of their savings. Keep cool with Florida Home AC. That's 777-4300.
An undercurrent of excitement builds with every swing.
U.S. Open coverage is brought to you by
TopDressing.com. Follow the leaders on 1010XL.
Living on Amelia Island, having fun in Fernandina Beach? No matter what brings you to the fun, cozy town, make sure you check out the tap room at Mocama Beer Company. With a full flight of craft creations, from the Cosmico IPA to the Motor, the perfect Pilsners and Lagers, matching memories and some Mocama magic is what it's all about. Mocama Beer Company in Fernandina Beach, near the big water where the sun is born. And look for more Mocama craft at your local Total Wine or ABC Liquors.
This is Father Nicholas Lowe, and I want to talk to you about being a godly example. Every day, we're setting an example in our words and actions. And many times, we can act one way in one setting and then totally different in another setting. My encouragement for you is to not send out mixed messages. God is depending on you to set the example in people's lives. You don't know, but you may be the only Bible that someone ever sees today.
For more inspiration, log on to stjohnthedivine.com.
WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
Hey gang, Prosser here, and it's always great when you can replace a problem with a promise. And let me get right down to it. When it comes to Chad and Sandy and selling your home, here's a promise that you can count on. Chad and Sandy guarantee your home sold at an agreed-upon price and deadline, or they will buy it. Now, more. Spring selling season is here. Rates are down. Activity's up. Now's the best time in years to sell your home. Some homes are sitting on the market, though, and hiring an expert who can maximize your equity and minimize hassle is the key. Those expert agents, and I'm recommending them to sell your home, Chad and Sandy Newman. There have been lots of you out there on the First Coast who are taking advantage. Take David and Heather in Fox Ridge. This is out in Orange Park. We wanted to move to Keystone Heights to get closer to family, away from the city. We heard Chad and Sandy on the radio and called. What you hear is true. We got multiple offers and sold in 3 days for $15,000 above asking price. Call the local experts I trust and recommend to sell my home and yours. Call Chad and Sandy, 414-6200, ChadAndSandy.com.
Keeping kids active is a full-time job for parents. Look no further, though, than I-9 Sports, covering Duval, St. John's, and Clay to get your youngster in the game. Summer and fall registration open right now for flag football, soccer, t-ball, and basketball. Plus, girls volleyball at Duval Charter Bay Meadows. Fields and gyms all over the First Coast. And the best thing is I-9 Sports offers sports year-round so kids can always find something to do. I9sports.com. Enter 1010 in the promo code.
Need cash? Beaches Jewelry and Pawn has cash, and they're ready to buy guitars, surfboards, jewelry, firearms, tools, and especially gold. And gold market prices are at a record high. Get cash on the spot at Beaches Jewelry and Pawn in Jacks Beach.
Where does Northeast Florida buy cars? Arlington Toyota. Mia here, and why Arlington? Selection. Arlington has over 800 new and used vehicles all in one location with everyday low prices. Plus, right now, save big with zero down and just $288 per month for a pre-owned 2023 Toyota Corolla. Or how about no payments till January 2026 and 60-day exchange. Shop in person on Atlantic Boulevard, just a quarter mile east of 295, or online anytime at arlingtontoyota.com.
A chipped windshield can turn into a big problem fast. Lauren Brooks here. Trust Novus Glass of Jacksonville for expert repair and replacement. Call 904-289-2905 for Novus Glass in Orange Park. 904-289-2905.
I'm Max Fink with your 1010XL Southeast Orthopedic Specialist local sports update brought to you by Baker Glass. Today, the 125th U.S. Open began up at Oakmont Country Club outside of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. The course, being one of the toughest challenges in all of golf, will feature 2 Florida Gators. First off, Noah Kent, an incoming junior at the University of Florida, made his second start in a major this year after playing in this year's Master Tournament. During Kent's first round, he carded a 10 over 80 as he gets ready for the afternoon tee time tomorrow. This Open also features Trevor Gucheski, the high school senior from Omaha, Nebraska, who will be a freshman at Florida in the fall, who makes his first appearance in a major at Oakmont shortly after winning the U.S. Junior Amateur title. Gucheski also shot a 10 over during his opening round earlier on today. JJ Spawn leads the tournament at 4 under in the clubhouse. It's 89 degrees at 3 o'clock. Time and temp brought to you by Bueller Air and Plumbing. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. This is XL Primetime, brought to you by Florida Home AC. Now that's cool on 1010XL.
3 o'clock hours here. We say thanks to all y'all. Listen, checking us out on YouTube or the apps or just a good old radio dial. AM 1010, 92.5 FM. Joe C., Matty Hayes, Big Sirs, and JJ. And we'll crank throughout this hour, talk a little bit more about the United States Open. You just heard the leaderboard update. We'll get back to your Jacks because they wrap up minicamp. And I think before we get to the Jack Kaiser interview, just maybe your overall opinion of the OTAs / minicamp, Leon, when you think about what you've seen. Because it's clearly different than a Doug Peterson-led team, but just kind of your overall opinion of what do you come away with?
Yeah, my overview was that it seemed to be a lot more fluent, fast. Guys are getting reps. I'm a stickler on you got to get reps.
Yeah.
Comparable to what this team used to do last year, it was a lot of wasted time. It wasn't enough guys getting reps, separate guys in the groups. Then there was corrections right on the fly. It was corrections right there on the fly. Coaches giving instruction on when guys aren't doing it right, that kind of stuff. I saw guys running in and out to different stations and the huddle and all that kind of stuff. And I think the intensity was rampant, especially on the defense side of the ball. And usually defensively, it ramps up a little bit better than the offense because they're trying to learn new offense. But yeah, I was impressed. Now that's probably me being overly optimistic. New group, new regime, new energy. So I mean, the pom-poms were out right now.
Sure. This is off season, baby.
Yes.
You're waving them, man.
Yeah, I am a little bit.
I like the tempo. I like the hands-on coaching. I liked it. I thought it was refreshing, actually.
Yeah.
I don't know how much different it was from last year. Kind of similar. The hands-on coaching was clearly different. No doubt.
I think the other thing for me is that
we talked about tempo last year, if I remember. That it's different.
Well, but I think the other thing for me, and that's what I wanted to kind of get you guys as far as what you think, is the roster there's a lot of new names and faces at the bottom half of this roster.
There are, but the foundationally, it's still the same guys. Still the same. Yeah.
That have to deliver.
Yes, and that's, I think for me, every time I'm out there watching them, I'm still thinking that same thing. This is still foundationally the same team, and that's what's a little unnerving.
All right, so let's make this the 10-10 take, and then we'll just keep going as far as your observations of minicamp right now.
Now, Joe C's 10-10 take. Slow smoked and served up by Sonny's Barbecue. Local pitmaster since 68.
You're heading into Father's Day weekend. And I tell you what, Pops, Dad, Gramps, whomever it might be, you don't need to be working hard, slaving over a grill, okay? You need to chill. So just run on by Sonny's, order you whatever you want, and tell Mama to pick up the tab. And that could be a full slab of ribs, a whole chicken, whatever you want. Just make sure you get it and celebrate a little Father's Day at Sonny's. So the way I'm looking at this, guys, is that, yes, the names and faces of the big stars are still here. Obviously, contracts for Trevor, Josh Hines Allen, Tyson Campbell, they're going to be here. But then that next layer, next level, does Devin Lloyd repair his reputation? Does the edge play from Walker and Hines Allen turn into a better pass rush? Do they finally start picking off some footballs? Are there better guys in position to start doing that? Offensively, can they start to dictate what happens at the line of scrimmage? And is this offense going to help them do that? That's where I'll jump off for you guys, because I think this offense has a chance to focus and feature the run game and running backs out of the backfield with short game passing that's going to help either maybe slightly above average offensive line, and it's going to help Trevor. So that has to happen, and I think that's the change that I'm talking about. That's the 10-10 take.
Yeah, I think, and Leon and I talked about this at length when you were on vacation, is there are a lot of guys on this team that are hitting year 4, that year 3 to year 5 kind of level that have to turn up the wick. It's guys like Walker Little, like Devon Hamilton, like Tyson Gamble, like Parker Washington.
Mm-hmm.
There are guys all over this team where you're like, all right, it's time for that dude to start playing.
Yeah.
Anton Harrison. If that happens, if those guys begin to reach that, whatever, if you want to call it ceiling or whatever you want to call it, then I think they got a chance to have a turnaround. But because that's the core. If you look at this team, that's the core of their team. There's a lot of 3rd, 4th, 5th year guys all along that group where you're like, okay, Trayvon Walker's another one. All right, is he going to become elite?
Mm-hmm.
Right? Is he going to be that number 1 overall pick? That guy that you're like, oh yeah, here we go.
Mm-hmm.
Now we're talking. Is he going to be that guy? Travis Etienne,
right?
Tank Bigsby. You can just go down the line, man.
Yeah, and I feel like I saw a little speed out of Bashal Tootin today. You can't take anything from it because guys aren't taking guys to the ground. There aren't any pads on, anything like that.
Devin Lloyd, another one.
Yeah, I mentioned him for sure because he really, reputation-wise, he wants to repair what people think of him. And
Ventrell Miller, there's another one.
I like what Liam Cohen said about Devin Lloyd. He was one of the guys that he mentioned that said they're in the office asking questions, talking to coaches, this and that. But it is 100% incumbent on them to take that badge of pride and go out there and put a better product
what
on.
you're hoping what I'm hoping that Liam Coleman is able to do with the guys that have been here, like Matt was alluding to, the 3rd, 4th, 5th guys, is to get under their skin a little bit, to let them know that how they've performed over the last couple of years is not good enough.
Yeah.
And you just take Liam Coleman just from yesterday where he was in the presser talking about Anton Harrison.
Yeah.
He was like, Anton, he's got all the talent, his ability, he's a former 1st round pick. But Anton, he decides when he wants to play.
Yeah.
And you can't allow that. You can't allow a player to turn it on and off. You got to force him to be consistent, practice after practice. And if he's not consistent, and which Liam and them are doing, is they're not starting him.
Mm-hmm.
They're not starting him. I don't know if that's going to get on their skin. I hope Anton Harrison responds the right way when he comes back to training camp and reasserts some stuff as the right tackle, but you never know.
Right.
You'll know if you got the right guy the way he comes back in 5 weeks.
Brenton Strange, another one.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, if you really think about it, like, because you got BTJ and you got Travis Hunter and Parker Washington's got to start playing, man.
Well, no, De'Ami Brown is
right. But
I'm just telling you this right now. De'Ami Brown's taking his spot. That's basically what's happening.
He's at the end of the day, though. I mean, you're still banking on a guy that was kind of got hot in the playoffs last year.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, with De'Ami Brown.
Well, yeah.
So if you've got a guy my point is, you've got a guy that's been here, that has been part of that locker room, that has been part of the ups and the downs. Time to start playing, man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but I believe that's why they looked at it. They made an eval, and they said,
I don't disagree with that.
We're going to sign this cat for $10 million for 1 year. He comes in on a contract, basically instantly trying to make sure he gets his next contract. And Liam Cohen said one of the reasons he came here was that we're going to give him the full route tree. We're going to let him do everything instead of just do one thing. And we'll find out. He said it's not just going to be jet sweeps and go routes. And I like that because they're looking for that type of guy. He's cat quick. Mm-hmm. He needs to hang on the football. Jarian Jones made a hell of a nice play against him today. But that type of guy can come in here and be that I call them change agents. We're going to hear the conversation with Jack Kaiser coming up in a second. But that's what has to happen.
Yeah. You got to have guys that are going to come here and make a difference. The old style of play is out the window, and that's what I love. He's calling players to the carpet who aren't getting it done.
Yeah,
I mean, he had 30 catches last year. He's not a change agent.
Oh believe me. I had him off the roster and got crushed because I like him, but I don't like.
I mean, Downey Brown had 30 catches last year.
Yeah. Oh, I know that. But towards the end of the year, you take a look at what he did in the
Right,
postseason.
he got hot in the playoffs. Right, that's what I'm saying. So you're kind of like, and then you're banking on a guy that lost his job as a starting center with the Bucks too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So that's like you're asking me what I think of the OTAs and the minicamp. That's kind of part of the totality of it.
Mm-hmm.
Like I like the way it looks. I'm just not sure it's much different from the previous season, and it's also you're banking on guys that we'll see.
Yeah. Oh,
there's a lot of we'll see out there, man.
Well,
a lot.
It's funny, and this team really needs to have a resurrection. We know that, and it ain't all going to happen in 1 year roster-wise, but they need to make sure they don't blow it when it comes to this line. They really do. And there are still definite question marks there. All right, let's hear from number 54 right now, one of the newest Jaguars. We're with a former Notre Dame Fighting Irish, Jack Kaiser. He's now a Jacksonville Jaguar, and you just wrapped up your first mini camp as a Jaguar. How did it feel?
It was good. A lot of good work today. Get down here and just compete with the boys and still, communicating, kind of making that gel. It's been a lot of fun for sure.
So you're going to get a little bit of a break, but if you go back to the time you finished your college career, went through the combine, the draft, all that kind of stuff, you've been swimming a little bit, haven't you?
Yeah, it feels like nonstop. When you play late in the season, like that's the best thing you could possibly do, right? Especially all the way to the end. But it does take a toll in terms of like, all right after that, you got to get back to work, with the Senior Bowl, the Combine, the Pro Day, and then making sure you're in shape by rookie minicamp. It's a lot, but, it's football at the end of the day, and that's what you love to do.
Yeah, we're going to get back to the college football playoff here in a second, but when you think of the way this defense is being constructed, you're brand new. Anthony Campanile's brand new. There's a lot of familiar faces for us, but also new faces. How is it coming together?
Yeah, I mean, it's been great. Obviously, everybody's learning together, right, which is kind of a cool thing. Like, we can ask questions, bounce questions off each other, pick each other's brains, but also, like, the vets, like, they've been here, done that. They've gone through new defenses. Like, they're used to it. Like, they understand the nuances of patterns and concepts. And so, like, it's just cool to see them input their little tricks, even though it's brand new to them in a way. Like, they still have all these vet stuff that they know, and it's been really cool to see that be poured into the rookies and the newcomers.
I think the challenge for Jaguar fans is that there's been 3 different defensive coordinators. The last 2, it hasn't worked out. It did not work out last year, so you guys got to be kind of change agents.
Yeah, I mean, Coach Camp's doing great, like, coming in here, really, like, being inspirational, being a leader, and he's just a really smart guy with X's and O's. Like, he knows what he's doing, and it feels like he almost wants to be out there on the field with us, like, in that sort of energy, right? So a defense really thrives off that and feeds off that, and so I'm really excited to see what we can do this year. We got a lot of talent, a lot of guys out here that can fly around, make big plays, and then match that with the scheme. I think this could be a big year for him.
So where do you see yourself, and how is Foye and Devin and these guys kind of help bring you in?
Yeah, I mean, you look at Devin, Foye, Chad, like, those guys have been here, right? They've gone through the change we've talked about, right? And so I'm able to talk to them, hey, like, I'm going through change right now, but, they've done this already. And so asking them questions, what was the hardest part of, the transition? Like, what should I be doing? What should I be making sure I hit on every, when we're off, on our own for the next couple weeks, right? It's been really cool, and it's been an awesome room to just ask questions and be a part of.
All right, so college football playoff, let's go back, because Notre Dame, one of our guys on our show is a Hurricane Hall of Famer. You got Notre Dame, Miami right out of the box. But let's go back. How big was it for you guys, for Marcus Freeman, to bring all of that together and play for a title?
Yeah, I think, every year at Notre Dame, like, we don't have a conference championship, right? Like, a bowl win is cool, but it's not, what we're ultimately striving for, right? And so, every season you go in with this goal in mind, right? And understand that you got to work every single day to get to your best and have the chance to compete and have that opportunity. But it hasn't happened in a long time, right? Like 2012, and even then, like, there's a lot of people that said that Notre Dame had no part being there. Now, whether, that's a different story. But to be able to get back there and to win games that we won, right? Beat the SEC champion, go in to the Orange Bowl and have a really tough game against a really good Penn State team and grind it out then. Like, I think it showed a lot. And then also have the mistake early on in the season, the screw up, the fumble, right? But then to be able to come back and get better from that, like, I think, you just see the culture of the program, like, overtake that adversity early on and really take us all the way to the Natty.
Yeah, it's not like Notre Dame didn't make it into a 4-team playoff, because they did, like you mentioned, but how big was it to have 12 teams and everyone basically still with a big prize at the end of the year?
I think when you expand that playoff, right, like the national champion, whoever's in the national championship, those are the 2 best teams, right? Like, you have to work your way into that. It's not just one game and, the ball rolls one way. It's like, no, like, you have to beat really good teams all the way up into that. And so it was just really cool for me in the first year to be a part of it and to have, a lot of success in the playoff and to have the opportunity to play in the national championship. Obviously, we didn't win. Wish we could change that, but it was great still.
All right. Have you ever seen the 30 for 30 Catholics versus convicts?
Yeah.
Okay, so what do you think of Miami and Notre Dame starting off?
Yeah, I mean, I wish I could be there, right? Like, it's going to be really cool. I know that, we just played in Hard Rock, and I know that place can be electric, and so it's going to be, what bigger stage could you ask for? Week 1 last year, we went to Texas A&M. That was amazing. This year, going back down to Miami, play the Hurricanes, Catholics versus convicts action, getting that rivalry started up again. It's going to be great.
Jack Kaiser, we appreciate your time, buddy.
Awesome. Thank you.
See, I'm the one who brought it up. I just want to know if he remembered, if he had any history on his side. He saw the 30 for 30. He remembered it. And he actually said afterwards, Leon, that one of his family members had some of the production rights to those shirts. They're still looking for some of those old shirts. So we'll touch on that coming up. I see that look on your face.
Yeah. I wish I would see when I lit the fire.
All right. We will get back to that coming up on XL Primetime.
From pit road to victory lane.
He'll bypass him on the back straightaway.
Sunday in Mexico City.
That should be all she wrote.
Brought to you by the Plumbers and Pipe Fitters Local Union 234. From the station with the most horsepower. 1010XL.
Watch the Stanley Cup Final at the brand new Front Runners Tap House inside the Community First Igloo. Specials include $1 wings and $3 drafts for the Stanley Cup Final at Front Runners Tap House.
Hey, John, have you seen the exciting 2025 lineup at Randy Marion Cadillac?
They've got the Lyric, IQ, Optique, and the stunning Vistique. It's a Cadillac lover's dream.
And the best part, over 100 new Cadillacs are in stock and ready for you to drive home today.
Plus, it's the perfect time to trade in your Tesla and experience luxury and performance like never before.
Visit us today at Randy Marion Cadillac on Southside Boulevard in Jacksonville.
Don't miss out on these incredible vehicles. Your new Cadillac awaits.
Tell them Jennifer sent ya.
Hi, I'm Sean Monahan from Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach. Since 1977, we've been Jacksonville's local family jeweler with a beautiful selection of fine jewelry and certified diamonds. But we're also Jacksonville's leading buyer of gold, silver, and diamonds from the public. Gold's recently hit an all-time high at over $3,000 per ounce. Pay bills, buy something fun. Now is the time to sell your gold for cash and get top dollar, or trade it in for a new piece and get even more at Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach.
Been in a car crash? I'm local attorney Rick Alexander, and I've made it our mission at the Alexander Law Practice to listen to you so I can fight for the best possible result for you. I've been practicing over 30 years, and our team focuses on guiding you through the entire process. And because fees and reimbursement costs come out at the end of the case, I will never ask you to come out of pocket. For a free review, call 904-400-6600 or log on to alexanderlawpractice.com, Jacksonville.
We found the fix for the forgotten holiday. What are you talking about? Happy Father's Day. 1010XL has some great gift options from Beaches Dermatology, Kuhn Flowers, and the Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimp at 1010XL.com.
Are your kids ready to play this summer? Come check out the Y. Summer is a time for kids to explore new things and expand the limits of their imagination. At the Y summer camps, every day is a new adventure. Kids can learn about STEM, arts and humanities, athletic sports, outdoor games, and more. Registration is now open, but space is limited, and spots are filling up quickly. Learn more and find your adventure at fcymca.org. Search Summer Day Camp.
Watching Clorox cleanup spray dissolve tough grime in the shower feels like...
Wait, this really just happened? Oh, I'm shocked. Underwear and everything?
It feels like being able to zip up your overpacked suitcase on the first try.
Smooth.
With Clorox, clean feels satisfying. Clean feels good. Use as directed.
Right now, they're on their way to disrupt your life, make you uncomfortable, and rob you. Don't bother calling the police. They can't help. That's right. Summer heat and humidity are about to attack North Florida again. You know what to do. Call Mike Merritt. Mike Merritt's Heating and Air has a license to chill. When heat and humidity are attacking you, Mike Merritt provides a comfortable chill at a bargain price. Mike has been keeping North Florida comfortable for 30 years. Mike Merritt technicians are never paid commissions, meaning you'll never be pressured to buy something you don't need. And Mike Merritt knows cooling issues can arise anytime. They don't just happen during business hours. So Mike Merritt never charges overtime fees. When you need us, we're here for you. Remember, in the fight against heat and humidity, Mike Merritt has a license to chill. Visit merrittair.com. Florida license number CACO 50384.
Prosser here. Get those boats ready. The Dailies Old School Kingfish Shootout, presented by Yellowfin, is almost here. It's Saturday, June 14th. Just go to oldschoolkingfish.com to find out more. The grand prize is a Yellowfin Bay boat worth $125,000, and with limited boundaries, no bait buying, and no checkout, it is seriously old school. Here's how you do it. You go online, you sign up, and you become part of what was always a terrific tournament. It's the Old School Kingfish Shootout. oldschoolkingfish.com.
At Cannons of Jacksonville, they know that when you're towing anything, you gotta have products you can rely on. With over 50 years of fabrication expertise, the family at Cannons can repair or install precisely what you need to tow with confidence. Whether it's a heavy-duty hitch, trailer frame, gooseneck, tow bar, or any other towing accessory, Cannons will provide you with unmatched precision and durability. For all your towing needs, visit cannonsofjacks.com, where quality and customer satisfaction collide.
Hey, Hicken here, and you know I'm going to talk about skin. Yeah, it's hot outside, folks. The oven is on. Temps are in the 90s, and it's only getting hotter. I love the summer, but my skin doesn't. I do my best with dry-fit shirts, big floppy hats, plenty of water. My secret weapon, though, the sunscreen. I use it regularly. Maybe you should as well. Look, I've also been seeing docs at Peaches Dermatology for years, and my skin thanks me for it. I'm telling you, it could save your life. Book your appointment today at peachesdermatology.com.
You've got a lot on your plate. The last thing you need is car trouble. At Maxie's Mechanics, we help you keep your cars, trucks, and SUVs running safely. Visit MaxieAutoRepair.com today for honest service, reliable repairs, and peace of mind for you and your family.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. This is XL Primetime, brought to you by Florida Home AC. Now that's cool on 1010XL.
We've already heard some of the countdowns until the NFL season starts, until the college football season starts. But after the conversation with Jack Kaiser and his recollection of Catholics versus convicts and looking forward to a renewal of it, August 31st, Labor Day weekend, 7:30 kick inside Hard Rock.
You're talking dirty to me, and I kind of like it.
Oh, yeah, man.
Will y'all fill that up, Leon? Will y'all fill that up?
I'm going to dump that.
Yeah, thank you, JJ. Of course we're going to fill it up. What do you mean? You going to do talking about two top 10
You don't think that's an
teams?
honest question?
No.
Not for that game.
No, I think you're trying to take shots below the belt.
He's trying to incite the riot. That's all.
Just a little gig, that's all.
That's all.
I got to get you off your game for 2 weeks later when the real game arrives.
What's the real game?
Against FLA.
When the Gators roll into town.
Didn't we own... Come on now. Didn't we own y'all last year?
And by the way, the series between you and Notre Dame, I was actually kind of surprised by this. 18-8-1.
That's going to be a low-scoring game.
I was surprised by that. Now, you say low scoring, that means Miami's got to bring that defense that they've been talking about in the offseason.
Well,
correct?
I say low scoring because who knows who the Notre Dame quarterback's going to be. It's probably going to be C.J. Carr, who's a redshirt freshman.
Mm-hmm.
It could be Kenny Mincy. Guy hasn't played at all. Neither of those guys.
So you're just saying they'll be searching for points.
Yeah, they're gonna. I mean, they're gonna be they'll be very conservative in how they play offensively. They're gonna hope Miami makes mistakes. And again, all things we've heard from Danny is everything looks great
with
Carson Beck. But again, we don't know how it's gonna be or if it's gonna be smooth. It may be clunky in game one, right?
Yeah.
I would expect that game to be all kinds of ugly.
No, I don't think so. Carson Beck's 29-3 as a starter. I think he's going to step right in, ride the bike, and take us all home.
Yeah, I'm glad
that was okay, huh?
Huh?
I would agree with you. I think if that elbow's good and there's no problems with it, I think you guys definitely have a chance to win the ACC.
That's the big if.
No doubt.
Yeah, that's the big if.
Yeah.
And the national title game's played in Miami.
It is. Yeah.
But that's it. That's the big if. It hinges on that.
It'll be the home.
It hinges on that. It's so funny. I'm glad you brought up the record because I penciled it in somewhere where I was taking notes for the show. Jalen Hurts was the most disregarded 26-2 dude you'd ever seen, right? When they shipped him off, he stayed another year at Alabama with Tua Tagovailoa, trying to win back that job, and he didn't do it. And then he went to Oklahoma as a 26-2 starter, and they just basically panned him. And that's what Beck is. Beck has lost 3 times.
Mm-hmm.
And yet Georgia's off, go, away. We like Gunner.
Well, I mean, to be fair to Kirby wanted him. Kirby,
well, of course. I'm talking about
as soon as the fans, the Georgia fans did, right?
They were.
But as soon as it was obvious that Carson was coming back, Kirby was on the phone to him.
Yeah, trying to get him. Yeah. And so, but he does have a chance to reclaim some of that, which is what he wants to do, and we'll see whether he can do it or not. I will easily say the path through the ACC to a championship is easier than through the SEC, but it doesn't mean that they are going to win all their games, and it's going to be really incumbent on Carson to return to form.
I will also say Carson's window for mistakes much, much, much smaller at Miami than it was at Georgia. When you got that defense at Georgia backing you up,
true.
He doesn't have a defense like that at Miami.
And the number of picks.
You make a mistake that could easily, and you leads to a short field for somebody that could easily turn to 7.
Right. And so that it just creates such great storylines. It really does. But I don't know whether he's going to be able to kind of reclaim the respect or whatever, but he is a kind of a Rodney Dangerfield figure right now with a pretty damn good record. And we'll see whether
it would be a wonderful story if they go like 12-0 and he's in the Heisman. I mean
11-1.
He also needs to fix his NFL draft stock and for his own future. I mean, this was a guy that was talked about as not only a first day pick, but like a top 10, top 5 pick, maybe even number 1 a couple years ago. And now it's like I don't even know if he would have went out last year. Who knows where he would have been taken?
We also have to not forget. I mean, this is a team that lost 3 of its last 4 games. When 2 of those games, winning one of those games would have got him in the playoff. So
you're talking.
Although the last one was the bowl game, so that doesn't really count. So 2 of the last 3 games when it mattered, like when you had to win a game to get to the playoff.
The Syracuse games had to be the most disappointing game.
Yeah,
you have 21-0 in second quarter, and you can't find a way to finish, and you find yourself trailing late in the game.
Brown, bro.
Yeah, couldn't win it. Yeah, that was the most disappointing thing. That loss.
But
Georgia Tech was another one.
Oh my gosh!
I think the Georgia Tech was probably even worse. Actually,
yeah, it was. It was. No, Syracuse.
Because Syracuse was it was still in front of you.
Right, but that's an
One's
odd
a rivalry game.
That's an odd place to play. It's late in the season. It's a long trip. I can almost excuse that. You should not have lost to Georgia Tech.
I can't.
I mean, Georgia almost lost to Georgia. Georgia should have lost to Georgia Tech, too.
Georgia Tech
is a good team, man. When they actually had Haynes King,
a
lot of their losses, a few of their losses last year, he wasn't even playing.
Yeah, Haynes was a man. You guys
is he
know
back? He's not back yet.
Yeah, he is.
Oh, God.
And so I got
48.
I had a little bit of that mad quarterback love that Matt usually has. I had it for Haynes. I had it for Riley Leonard. And I like both of those guys a lot. And Haynes King, sturdy man, and he I don't know whether Jimbo ran him off, but he left A&M, and he's got him a pretty good little situation up at Georgia Tech. He certainly did great last year when healthy, that's for sure. So it's just going to be fun. Just take a look at the storylines of that game coming into it, and who does come out.
And Carson's got to follow Cam Ward's footsteps too.
Yeah.
I mean, Cam Ward had a
pressure on him, man.
I'm just saying, bro.
It's true.
You know the Miami faithfuls, after they saw what Cam did for this team and to be the number 1 pick overall. I mean, Carson's got to play ball.
Hopefully, he won't have to do that. Like their entire secondary is transfer guys. Their linebacker, like they have a completely new defensive coordinator.
Yeah, they don't have the same defense. Let me tell this story real quick because this is a nice little anecdote that Jack Kaiser left me with that has Miami and Notre Dame in it. I didn't ask him about Al Golden during the interview because we were mainly Jags, and then I wanted to get in some of the college talk. So afterwards, we're just sitting off to the side talking a little bit. And I said, Al Golden coached his ass off as your defensive coordinator. And now he got you ready for the NFL, and he's now in the NFL. He said, man, he was so good. You did not want to let him down. He said, and he felt like he called the perfect game against Georgia, the way they were playing.
Mm-hmm.
And then, obviously, they didn't hold up against Ohio State, but they were in that game. Really, when you think about the plays right there at the...
Well, they got back in the second half.
Yeah, got back in it. Yeah, but anyway, he said you just didn't want to let him down. You didn't want to be the guy that... He said he called so many good plays. I thought it was interesting. He had high respect for him.
Except for the last one.
Yeah.
When single coverage with Jeremy Smith.
When they made that decision.
Single coverage.
That was weird.
Yeah, but think about it.
Third down, that was weird.
Yeah, and by the way, Jeremiah had his way in the very beginning of that game too, big time.
Yeah.
So... all right. We'll keep it going. We've got a leaderboard update. The United States Open at Oakmont. Here it comes.
This U.S. Open update on 1010XL is brought to you by TopDressing.com.
Westwood One Sports presents this special report on the 125th U.S. Open Golf Championship. Stay in the game all off-season with NFL Plus. Subscribe at plus.nfl.com. Terms and conditions apply. LA native JJ Spahn at 4 under. South African Tristan Lawrence at 3 under. The Korean star Siwoo Kim at -2. And that is the top of the leaderboard at the 2025 U.S. Open at Oakmont. Ben Griffin and Thomas Dietrich are done at -1. The afternoon wave just now navigating this treacherous major championship venue. 5-time major winner Brooks Koepka eagled the 4th, got to 2 under par. Patrick Reed and Koepka, 2 of 14 LIV Tour players in the field this week. With this report on the U.S. Open, I'm Whit Watson, Westwood One Sports.
Now more than ever, Lowe's knows you don't just want a low price, you want the lowest price. And with our lowest price guarantee, you can count on us for competitive prices on all your home improvement projects. If you find a qualifying lower price somewhere else on the same item, we'll match it. Lowe's, we help, you save. Price match applies to same item. Current price at qualifying retailers. Exclusions and terms apply. Learn how we'll match price at lowes.com/lowest price guarantee.
The Jeep brand has always stood for American freedom. And now we're standing with you with Employee Pricing Plus. Hurry into your Jeep brand dealer for details today and join the family. Jeep, there's only one. Offer valid on select 2024 and 2025 Jeep brand vehicles for non-FCA employees and retirees. $200 admin fee applies. Not all buyers will qualify. Restrictions apply. Does not apply to leases. Ends 6/30/25. Jeep is a registered trademark of FCA US LLC.
Say goodbye to glasses and contacts with customized vision treatments at Bowden Eye & Associates. Hey, Hicken here. Dr. Bowden and his expert team bring you all the latest options like Evo implantable Collamer lenses, refractive lens exchange, or traditional LASIK. Tailored just for you. Imagine waking up to clear vision. No hassle, no fuss. You ready to see the difference? Call now or visit BowdenEye.com for a free screening. Bowden Eye & Associates, keeping the first coast focused.
They were right. It could have waited. I can't believe it happened to me. Reaching to check my phone. Now my family has to hear that I'm never coming home again.
Officer?
I'm so sorry. I have some very sad news to share with you.
Every day, 9 people on Florida roadways don't make it home. I was one of the people that didn't make it home.
Ride with Do Not Disturb. Every trip, every time. Let's get everyone home safely. A message from Florida Department of Transportation, Target Zero. For more information, visit targetzerofl.com.
Hi, it's Frank Frangie. You hear my buddies Dan and Jeff talk about that great food at Daly's Dash all the time. Jeff loves that Duval and Dan loves the Boss. And they're right, both are terrific. But I can tell you they have so many excellent options at Daly's Dash. Salads and flatbreads and tacos and quesadillas, you name it. And of course, those fantastic subs and sandwiches. I just had the Italian sub. It is so good. The thing is, Daly's Dash is really committed to their food and committed to making it perfect for you. Everything is fresh, made to order every time. And there's so many Daly's locations in town, no matter where you are, there's one near you. I love to pop in and grab a sub at lunch, or maybe after a round of golf, or maybe even after calling one of those Jags games. There's never a bad time to stop into Daly's Dash and grab that great, great food. So head there today. Take it from Dan and Jeff, or take it from me. They say it's nicer here. It really is. and the food is delicious. Head to Daly's Dash today.
This date in sports history is brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
On June 12th, 1981, Larry Holmes TKOs Leon Spinks in the third round to defend his world heavyweight title.
Hey, Jacksonville, I'm sure by now you've seen our bright green GFL trucks and containers throughout the greater Jacksonville area. We are an industry leader in solid waste and would love the opportunity to earn your business. We are committed to customer service, reliability, and have unwavering focus on safety. Whether commercial or construction, let us haul your waste away. Call 904-760-5880 to get a quote today. GFL, green for life.
Hey, Hicken here, or just call me Dreamfinders Danny. For a limited time to ring in the new year, Dreamfinders Homes is offering an amazing 4.99% fixed interest rate. Now's your chance to lock down that rate and get in the game. You heard me right. It's 4.99 fixed interest rate on select move-in ready homes. Visit dreamfindershomes.com for sales event information and get in the game. Interest rate available on select move-in ready homes. Restrictions and limitations apply. Go to dreamfindershomes.com for more details.
Attention North Florida, it's time to elevate your game night. Head to Best Bet, your premier destination for poker. With locations in Jacksonville, Orange Park, and St. Augustine, we have a seat ready for you. Whether you're a seasoned poker player or just starting out, we have you covered with easy-to-learn games like Ultimate Texas Hold'em or 3-card poker. And it's not just poker. With delicious food, lively bars, and big screen events, there's something for everyone. Visit bestbetjacks.com to learn more. That's bestbetjacks.com. And ante up for fun.
Is your roof ready for hurricane season? When storms hit, you need more than just a roof. You need trust. Valor Roofing Company is veteran-owned and operated, serving all of Florida with integrity and quality craftsmanship. From minor repairs to full replacements, they'll treat your home like it's their own. Estimates are always free, and veterans receive a special discount on all roofing services. Visit ValorRoofingCo.com and protect your home with people who care. GAF certified license CCC 1334864.
Hi, I'm Mac with Baker Glass. If you've got fogged up windows, let me help. We'll replace them with clear, insulated units that brighten up your home. People say we're fast, friendly, and reliable. Just check out our Google reviews. Call me today. Baker Glass. No one treats you better.
Oh, no. No.
You okay in there?
Toilet's backed up. It won't flush.
Okay, I'll call the pros.
The tank isn't filling. The handle does nothing. Run for your life.
Don't be so dramatic. Duck Rooter will fix it.
For any plumbing issue, call Duck Rooter, your local plumbing professionals and proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. DuckDuckRooter.com.
When you're stuck, call the Duck. 904-862-6769.
Send your favorite person a sweet summer surprise today from Kuhn Flowers, creating memories for over 70 years. This is Max, and it's just so easy. Order online at kuhnflowers.com. Jacksonville and Ponte Vedra.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Now, the Cool Down with Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing. Keeping Jack's cool since 1987.
All right, my takeaway is that now that minicamp is over, I can tell you this right now, that Liam Cole, every coach does this at the end of the minicamps. They have this conference speech where they talk to all the team, all the players, and they say, listen, you got 5 weeks off. All right, don't embarrass yourself, your family, or this organization. Now, as you're a veteran, you have a tendency to just want to spend time with family, kind of get away, kind of reset, because you know the season is upon you. If you're a young guy, you kind of want to go yacht party, drink. Whatever you did, whatever regimen that you were about to get you to this point, stay to that same regimen.
Yeah.
All right, because the season is upon. Don't be Stephon Diggs, okay? Don't be Stephon Diggs. Don't want to see you on I don't want to see you on no yacht nowhere with bottles popping, a bunch of women.
5 weeks is not really that long.
It's going to send the wrong, huh?
5 weeks is really not that long. Like, if you get too funky in 5 weeks, you're going to be out of shape, right?
Yeah, you could be. I've seen it happen.
Yeah.
So just stick to your regiment. Be consistent. Understand the season's long. Reset. Give yourself about 2 or 3 days to just kind of let loose. But then after that, get back to what got you.
What's the closest you cut it as far as getting back from vacation before camp began?
The closest I cut it? I I don't know. Let me see. In '98, I mean, I needed a police escort to get me to Jacksonville because I was going to be late for.
No, I don't mean that.
Oh, okay,
I mean like before camp started. Like how many days before camp were you sitting there having a cold one or whatever?
I got to dry out.
Holy God, I can't do this anymore.
No. If I did it, I did it early.
Yeah.
And then
so you never did it like up to the moment.
No. I would get it. I would give myself a good week of like just.
Completely drying out.
And then the next 3 to 4 weeks, I'm back on ball.
But are there guys that push it all the way?
Yeah, of course there are. Yeah, they take it to the limit.
And remember, whenever they tell them to stay in his era, that was when guys went to training camp to get in shape.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now you come back, you better be in shape.
Hey, listen, the best thing to have a training camp for me in '98. Okay, I'm running late for camp, but I get there just in time. TC's outside. I have my purple Benz. I'm playing Purple Rain as I drive up to. And TC just looks at me like. I don't know why we ever signed you.
So they're going to go through their emotions, have a good time. Kaiser said he's getting married next Friday, so he's going to be
congratulations.
Good job.
He's going to be a newlywed, and then he's going to train up there at Notre Dame. That way he can get back with the guys, hang out, this and that. He said, but it'll be take advantage of it, and then come back and get ready.
I don't know why we're all worried anyway. I mean, Len Dawson in halftime of the Super Bowl's got a heater in his mouth and he's drinking a Fanta.
Those were the days. Yeah.
He was pretty good.
Yeah, exactly.
When men were men.
Yeah, exactly. Johnny Unitas on the side with a heater. All of them. They didn't care.
Right.
Now Caleb Williams has like lipstick on and who knows
fingernails.
Painted fingernails.
Yeah, but that's another story for another time.
Yeah. I don't like. I know the fingernail, like I don't understand it, actually.
We're never gonna.
Yeah, let's not try to.
We're never gonna.
Let's
not try to.
I really don't. So, never mind. I was going to go. I'm not going to do it. But when it's all said and done, the whole idea is to keep what's in your brain right now.
Mm-hmm.
Don't lose it. You have to have that playbook in your head, not just stay in shape, correct? You got to be ready to go with that.
Yeah, because you've got the complete install.
Okay.
So the coaching staff is expecting you when you come back to not miss a beat. And they'll know. They will absolutely know. They'll know the guys who put in the time and effort watching the film. Because you can still watch film.
Yeah.
You can still watch film.
Oh, yeah.
Digitally.
It's not against the CBA.
No, it's not against the CBA.
Still get receivers out and go throw the ball around bowls. You can still do that too.
Whatever your regiment was to get you to this point, you need to stick at it.
It's not that I'm saying go do it to certain people, but go do it.
Yeah, I was thinking about this a little bit. I was talking with one of the guys there, and in the past, we have heard that they would say, "Hey, Trevor paid for a trip to take all the guys somewhere,"
right?
And they go have a good time and they throw. That's all fine and good, but do the work in Duval too. Get out there with your new footwork, your new throwing motion, all that stuff, and work with these receivers. And I'm sure we will see them at some spot, but that's key
because they're not allowed at the.
They can't. No, the
MEAC,
facility.
Right?
I don't think
they can't throw at the facility.
They can't throw at the facility.
Right.
There's a whole bunch of high schools here in Jacksonville will allow them on there.
I'm sure Bowles would be very happy.
Absolutely.
A lot of them to come run around out there. My takeaway is we're talking about Miami, Notre Dame. We're like I don't know. Let's see.
Hack would have known this immediately by the hour.
70 days? We're like 70
it's
days?
79 minutes, dude.
I love it, man.
How
like
many days?
We're talking, 30 days would be July 12. 30 more would be August 12.
I like how we're getting there. It's taking a lot of time, but yeah.
It's August 23. We're 71 days away.
That's pretty good.
Although there's 30 days in June, so it's 70.
That was quick slow.
I had it right.
But that was slow quick.
Hacker would have done that in 70 days, man.
We're in the prime of sports, guys.
Oh, yeah.
We got the USO, we got the NBA Finals, we got the NHL Stanley Cup Final.
Tonight. Very cool.
Everything is popping off right now.
Right.
We got College World Series coming up.
Yeah, because they're going to be starting out in Omaha. And the other thing,
I feel for those people who need football. What are you guys doing?
No, it's not that I need, but it's like we start talking about Miami and Notre Dame, and I got a little charge, man.
Well, there's going to be so many great games early. Man. But the other thing about the bad ratings for the NBA Finals, which everybody predicted, it's going to be suck.
Well, it's too small markets.
Because it's OKC, it's Indiana. Well, at the very least, you don't know what's going to go down now. Everyone thought OKC was going to win that.
Yeah, now you got to watch.
Yeah,
it's intriguing.
So watch it. Enjoy it. Pay attention to it. You're talking
And it's
about,
not like two teams that we're used to over the last few years that just jack up threes. Like, these guys are actually, I don't know, they're playing old school basketball, and they're playing defense, and it's fun.
Yeah, and they got some
Check it
inside,
out.
outside. We have discovered Tyrese Halliburton at a higher level. You knew how good SGA was, but now
A lot of casuals haven't seen him, though.
it's true. And so those types of things you
Even
can definitely
Holmgren,
enjoy.
like he's fun to watch.
Yeah, Chet,
man.
Chet,
When he's not totally gassed in the
he's a
fourth quarter.
he's a big giraffe. You don't need to run giraffes that much, but they're trying to get him up and down the
fun
floor.
To watch him play
Siakam's
too.
great,
Yeah.
And so they're all it's good right now. And yeah, between the United States Open, the NBA Finals, College World Series, there's just a lot of good stuff that you can soak up and then let football arrive a
The
little bit later
CWS begins what, tomorrow or Friday? I mean, tomorrow's Friday.
I believe
Begins
it's
Friday, right?
Yeah, I thought it was Friday, but it
Yeah.
might.
Yeah.
Yeah, I believe because that's when the board goes up at that place.
Yeah, tomorrow.
Yeah, it is tomorrow.
The Jello shots.
Yeah, the Jello shots.
yeah.
So it begins on Friday.
Tomorrow at noon, it looks like. Arizona at Coastal Carolina.
Yeah,
on
beautiful.
Espen.
Beautiful. And I was trying to look and see.
LSU's the one who usually destroys. They can like kill everyone in the Jello shot contest, so I fully expect them to do it again.
Yeah, there's always some big oil that will come in there and buy shots for everybody, and basically try and take that prize. Ole Miss did it one year.
Oh, was it Ole Miss?
Yeah,
Okay.
but I think LSU have a reputation too. But Ole Miss tried to crush it and come in there and basically win their own record that one year, which they did. But yeah, the Jello shots will definitely be a popular.
Remember when Stanford had like 4? It was some school like that.
Yeah, wait to see what Murray State has.
Yeah. No.
I mean,
let's hope.
What are they going to have? 4 or 5?
Yeah. I don't know. But
yeah, because they don't have a big fan base. It was more like Stanford only had a few because
Although it is
they're
Kentucky
lame.
and they're high in mind.
It is Kentucky,
Yeah.
and there's a lot of bourbon running around the state of Kentucky. Man.
Basically, if Kentucky goes out there and looks at a Jello shot and says, I don't see any brown water in there, man.
Yeah.
Until you figure out how to make a bourbon Jello shot, we ain't buying.
That is the thing about buying Jello shots. They're very suspect. You never know, how they probably put nothing in those.
Well, yeah, or the quality of vodka.
Is it tequila?
Yeah,
I was thinking, is it tequila or vodka?
It's vodka, primarily. That's what everybody. And I'm sure they.
And it's the lowest of low that you can get.
It's past pinnacle.
It's probably not even Stoli. It's probably something like
With apologies to my.
No, it's probably not even Stoli. That's what I'm saying.
Wow, that's.
Yeah, Stoli's legit. They stopped selling Russian standard vodka around here, like after the Ukraine war, and they still don't at a lot of places.
Really?
Yeah, it's weird.
What was the reason behind that?
They were choosing sides.
Obviously.
Yeah.
I laughed my butt off the other day, and this guy can't appreciate this. So let's just go ahead and set it up.
Now, the 2-minute drill. Service by Cool Cats Heating and Cooling. Locally owned and operated. We're your neighbors. CoolCatsJacks.com.
The coolest cats in town.
The Embedded and Shredded is in the house. You're a Jello shot man, right?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Why don't we have bourbon Jello shots, honestly?
It's a great question.
It is a good question. And I think you're a whiskey over bourbon, but still, you know what I'm saying.
We should try that.
Yeah. So real quick, I'm laughing the other day at one of the Seinfeld episodes where Kramer and Newman are talking, and Kramer's basically, and I know you can probably pick this up, and then give us the actual quote, but he goes, "Ukraine is soft. They're gone.
Ukraine is weak.
Ukraine is weak."
They're playing Risk.
And then the Ukraine guy starts listening to him, comes over there and smashes the board.
Hey, we're playing a game here, pal.
It was just the best.
Ukraine is game to you?
And then here we are 30 years later, and they're at it,
Oh,
It just made me laugh.
Oh, it's great.
Just cracked me up. All right, what's coming up, big bro?
We have a phenomenal Frangie show in store. At least we hope it will be phenomenal. We're going to have Lee Smith join us at 4:20. That part will definitely be phenomenal because he is always outstanding talking about golf, the executive director of the Players Championship. So he'll give us his early thoughts on Oakmont and what we're seeing from a world-class field at the U.S. Open. I had a chance to talk to Bayshul Tootin after practice today, the rookie running back.
He looked good today.
So yeah, he did very fast. Is that's sort of the book on him is the unbelievable speed, and he exhibited that a couple times today, which was cool. So we'll have that at 4:40, and Pete Prisco at 5 to talk all things Jags and NFL.
All right, so I hope I have this right, but I had a birdie tell me that Lee Smith might have played a couple rounds with Rafael Nadal recently.
Really?
Yes, you need to ask him.
Wow, that's very cool.
Yeah, you need to ask him about that.
I will.
Was he wearing capris?
I don't know if he was or not. All right, Hayes, sounds good, buddy. Hayes, Carline, Frank Franzi, JJ. He probably was wearing capris.
Dude, that's awesome.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. All right, we're done. We're going to hand it off to them. You're going to keep an eye on that U.S. Open leaderboard with updates coming throughout the afternoon. Big Sur's has got a Father's Day celebration plan tomorrow that we will get into, okay?
Yeah.
So,
Father's Day frustration.
yeah,
Right, I'm
there
about
you
to
go.
celebrate.
So get ready for that. But we will talk to you then. Cersei, hey, Joe C, JJ, we'll talk to you.
This time I got it right. Everyone wants to doubt Jacksonville. Never doubt.